Hello, and thank you, and welcome to Live on Purpose with yours truly, the Ambassador. Let me tell you something, I'm so excited. Yes, I'm excited, you guys. You are in for an amazing treat on this evening, doing this program. I have Janice Williams. She's a 30-year veteran, a registered nurse.
Yes.
Wow, registered nurse, and also a 15-year family caregivers.
Yes.
Right? Y'all, if you don't know what this means, I'm telling you what I want you to just look up this word real quickly. Pronounce for me.
Respite. Yes, R-E-S-P-I-T-E.
All right, respite. And when we come back, we're going to hear from Miss Janice Williams, you guys. You don't want to miss this. All right, stay tuned.
Self-motivation, inspiration. Discover what it truly means to live on purpose. Purpose Coach and inspirational speaker brings you Inspiring You on Purpose with Ambassador Sherry Sell. We'll be discussing real life topics, people, and circumstances. Learn how to identify with your purpose to help you find solutions to life's funniest practical to some of the most difficult situations. Inspiring You on Purpose with Ambassador Sherry Sell, airing every Thursday at 12 midnight.
And we're back. We're back with my special guest. Yes, give it up for. Look, she just clapped. Yeah. I hope you're excited to be here.
Well, you're making me excited to be here, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to just dive into this, you guys. I'm telling you, this is the first of many more times you're going to see her face, okay? Right here, because we love her right here at Kingdom Inch Network, and also Live on Purpose with Sherry Self. Sherry Self, love her, respect her for the work that she's doing in this community. So let's just dive into you. A 30-year registered nurse.
Yes, ma'am.
So before you became, when you began your first work in registered nursing, nursing, what did you see yourself doing?
When I started nursing?
Yes.
You know what? All I know is that my first job was in a hospital, but even before then, I really got into nursing because I really wanted to care for folks.
Oh, wow.
And I can't say that is the most popular thing even now, but when I got into it, I really wanted to help people and see them better. And over the 30 years, I've done many things. Mm-hmm. Like I've worked in research, hospital, rehab, long-term care, faith community, care coordinating, insurance, and so all those different things. And I would tell you this. Each job or each role helped me prepare for the next role. And even now, I pull on things that I've learned before to make a better decision or give a person better direction going forward in whatever they need me for. Wow. So I really put on every experience that I've ever experienced that has been positive and therapeutic. And I try not to leave people without an understanding because that's what nurses do. You know, they got to make sure that people understand their next steps.
The next step.
Yes,
it's all about educating people.
Absolutely.
And so the work, so even before you became RN, you always had that in you to care for people.
Actually, I didn't.
You did?
I didn't know I did. Somebody actually...
But you always did it before. You always had. You didn't know. See, that's what I love. I love that you said that, right? Okay. Because that's what Live on Purpose is all about. God created us with every ability and every talent, but we don't know that it's what He wanted us to do in the earth realm. Yes. We don't know. So before you own your purpose, you were doing it.
That's good because somebody actually told me I needed to be a nurse, but I told them no. I told them that I couldn't. I told them that I because I was very fearful.
Okay.
And so I didn't tap into anything that I was supposed to do because fear really drew me. Mm-hmm. I mean, fear kind of had the lead. But somebody spoke into my life, and I immediately told them no. And a few years later, I found myself in nursing school.
So they saw that potential in you.
Absolutely.
And that's what people do. They see, a lot of people see us before we can see ourselves.
Yes.
Because if God has already gave us a purpose, a plan, He said in His Word, right, before we had access to the earth. Sometimes it's just hard for us to see that. Who would have known that I would be talking all over the world and I used to get ends and use and conduct. Right.
But you was talking.
I was talking. But I didn't know that was what I was supposed to be doing. So you was caring for people and people just had to say, this is what you should be doing.
Absolutely.
And so 30 years later, you're not only doing that, but you're doing so much more. Talk to us about that faith community. What is that all about?
Actually, faith community nursing is pretty big. It actually, the headquarters was in Memphis.
Okay.
And actually they moved the headquarters and joined with another network. But there are faith community nurse conventions, and what faith community nurses do, they work in the community.
Okay.
They work out of churches. And really, I had got a chance to really get a position, one of the only paid positions that I ever knew about.
Okay.
That in this area as a faith community nurse, one of the major hospitals hired me to work in research to see if a faith community nurse, what they did would help decrease the risk for readmission to the hospital.
Really?
And so I worked on that for 3 years. And let me tell you, Sherry, that if any job was for me, that was for me.
Wow.
And I know
that was so different?
Because it encompassed everything that I believed in. I believed in faith. I believe in praying for my patient. I believe in protocol. I believe in follow-up. I believed in transition. And really collect data on. It helped me to see how a transition with a caregiver, how that made the difference. Many people, when they transition from the hospital to home, unless they have that extra layer of support, they're not as successful. Now,
back and forth into the hospital.
Absolutely, but most of the time, I saw that when a person was discharged, not only did they get the faith community nurse, but if they had a caregiver present, they had a better success in transitioning. Means they had what they needed.
They might, and being competent in doing what they take their medicine and all that. You have that extra.
Absolutely.
Extra support.
Because that's what family caregivers do.
Wow.
And actually, family caregivers, they are the unspoken workforce. Because they're actually...
In other words, they're not getting paid to do it.
Absolutely. But they show up. They show up every day.
Yes.
They show up when we don't show up. They're the backup plan. And so yes, family caregivers, and even pivoted into that. This is my 15th year working with family caregivers, and
congratulations. First of all.
Well, and actually be 16 on November the 8th.
You better celebrate every day. You hear me? You better learn to say, no, I meant to say, we got to learn to celebrate the good that we're doing. And then our community. You know how many, so that means 16 years that you've been helping families.
Yes.
Let's fast forward to 2018.
Okay.
That's where I come in. And that's where we meet.
Yes.
And you, at this particular time, you was having caregivers respite day.
Yes.
In other words, you were having a caregiver day out.
Yes.
Talk to us about what did that stimulate from, and the work that you did with your desk, because that was your nonprofit organization.
Actually, my dad got sick and he went through so many levels of care overnight that it really threw my family for a loop.
Wow.
I was a nurse, but I was not prepared to care for him. And I remember asking him, I said, Daddy, how do you want us to care for you? And he said, I don't. He said, because I'm going to beat this thing. And he was very resilient. He believed in taking care of himself. He didn't need much, but one day I called him before he had gotten sick, and one day I called him and he was saying, oh, I'm going to prepare this breakfast, and I'm having fried eggs and turkey sausage, and some told me to get up and go see what he was doing. Okay. So I went over his house and he was eating that wonderful breakfast, but he was eating out of the pot. So he really didn't have the real strength to fix his own plate.
After he finished cooking.
Yes. And ever since then, we just started jumping in and being what he needed us to do, even though he didn't want it. And every month, he was getting sicker and sicker. And then I asked Dad how did he want us to take care of him. So he never really gave us a plan. And my dad eventually died. And God spoke to me even in the middle of that. He told me that, he said, do you want the blessing? That's what he told me. And you know, I don't know if you have been a caregiver or there's other caregivers out there. Sometimes you just be mad because you don't have enough strength. You might not can go to work and you can't really do the things that you used to, and you have to take off work, and then your bills kind of, get messed up, and so what happened with that, I was just in one of those moods because I felt like I should have this or that or whatever. And then God spoke to me. He said, do you want the blessing? And I said, what do you mean the blessing? And so I just ignored and kept going. He said it again. And then I said, well, Lord, yeah, I want the blessing. And so Dad died, but then he impressed me to start an organization called Caregivers Respite.
Wow.
And in that's where I met you. In, I think it was 2018.
Yes.
And it was a conference we were doing at St. Francis Hospital. We were doing...
big conference. I don't know if that was your first one or not, but that thing was, oh my God, it was amazing.
Well, we actually did 18.
Okay.
Over the past, up until year 2022.
Okay,
And
wow.
Actually, we did 18 conferences, over 50 to 60 other events dealing with family caregiving, and I personally facilitated over 150 support group meetings. And so when you talk about caregiving, there's nothing I really haven't heard, and nothing I really can't really speak to, because when you talk about caregiving, people tend to bring you in and they want you just to fix them.
I want to pause right here.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Because you just said a lot. You are an expert. You are an expert. So I don't know who's watching right now, but I want whoever watching, make sure that you get to somebody that's a caregiver. We have an expert right here in the studio today. She said 150 events that she facilitated. She gave this amazing, huge. I would say this was like, I was kind of like, wow. A woman that looked like me in this hospital, and this is her baby. That conference I came to. So I want you to know that you're not just talking to no one just sitting here, just anybody. She's an expert in this thing and caring for the caregivers, having a heart of a caregiver. Okay, now we digress.
Thank you so much.
Self-motivation, inspiration. Discover what it truly means to live on purpose. Purpose Coach and inspirational speaker brings you Inspiring You on Purpose with Ambassador Sherry Sell. We'll be discussing real-life topics, people, and circumstances. Learn how to identify with your purpose to help you find solutions to life's funniest practical to some of the most difficult situations. Inspiring You on Purpose with Ambassador Sherry Sell. Airing every Thursday at 12 midnight.
Kingdom Image Network presents Top 5 Kingdom Influencers to Watch. Meet the trailblazers who are revolutionizing the kingdom landscape. These 5 influential leaders are making waves in both ministry and business, and we're excited to share their stories with you. Get ready to be inspired. These top 5 kingdom influencers are Prophetess Chiquita Sear, a dynamic leader in ministry and business. She is passionate about breaking the bonds of tradition and religion, equipping believers for kingdom advancement, and to transforming lives through the teaching of the Word of God. She strives to train kingdom workers to operate fully in their gifts. Pastor Marceline Williams, a savvy entrepreneur and kingdom business leader, with a purpose, mission, and assignment to assist men and women to achieve the greatest abundantly life possible. An entrepreneur and business leader leveraging her expertise to empower believers and advance the kingdom. Pastor Kesha Miller Harris, a powerful thought leader whose mission is to promote health, healing, and wholeness mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually to the body of Christ and beyond. She's known for her uncompromising message and unwavering commitment to spread the gospel of Jesus. Pastor Tasha Settle is supporting women and girls to look deeply inside themselves and deal with hidden hurt so they can shine bright in this dark world. View, a kingdom leader who's dedicated to equipping and edifying the body of Christ through her powerful voice as a sought-after preacher. Minister Verna V. Nickelberry, a visionary leader who's pioneering new frontiers in kingdom ministry and business and inspiring a new generation of leaders to follow in their footsteps. Stay tuned and keep your eyes on these top 5 kingdom influencers as they continue to make amazing moves and advance the kingdom. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered to make your own impact.
And so now you teach is more proactive than reactive, right?
Now, you know what, I worked in a hospital, and I remember I was transitioning from one job to another, and I said, I really wanted to be on the side where I could keep people well, because at that time, so many people were coming to the hospital very, very, very sick. And so that told me that they didn't have the middle of what they needed. And so I really wanted to be on the side that I could keep people more well. And if I think about it, I'm doing that now. Because with family caregivers, I really now am focusing on proactive things, and that's really paying for care. Now, there's certain topics that have always been a hot topic. As I did caregivers respite, can a caregiver get paid to take care of the loved one and money?
Yeah, okay.
And what's happening right before our eyes, I mentioned that people don't have access to respite. Well, that's not the only thing they don't have access to. Things are kind of falling through the cracks. Just because you have home health doesn't mean you're going to, just because the doctor said you're going to get home health doesn't mean you're going to get it. Because with every type of care, it's a payer source. With every type of care, somebody has to pay. Care is not free. So if there's no payer source there's no care. And people fall through the cracks all the time. And I know people hear that, and I won't go into detail until another time, but they don't even believe that until they experience that. But I can tell you 2 stories that just happened not too long ago. But long story short, I'm more on the proactive end. Although I still work with family caregivers because I do consultations, depending on where you are. But I don't know what better place to be right now than making sure that the people who always have come to the day of respite or the caregivers rest conference have their stuff in place. And so that really enlightens me, because we're all getting older. And you know, I know you've heard mentioned that there's more older people than younger people now. And so we're in the middle of such a pivot, and if we don't wake up and do something about it. In other words, Ms. Sherry, what I'm really trying to do, I'm talking to family caregivers, but I'm also talking to people.
Because, and you've probably seen this, there was a caregiver that gave out. Now, that means their loved one, now because of stress, because of unhealth, you know, they're not getting what proper care, they're not taking care of themselves because they're so busy trying to take care of Big Mama, and in the meantime, they blood pressure, diabetes, and all this out of whack, and then they expire before. How often do you hear that?
All the time. All the time.
Oh, wow.
Because people don't think that they have nothing to do now. But you can do something.
Okay.
And there's a whole list, and that's why I do the boot camps.
Yes, it's something to do with. Next, called A Woman Who Cares. What's the name of the boot camp?
Yes, Women Who Care.
Women Who
boot
Care.
camp, and it's not just for women. It is for families, men, anybody who wants to come and to figure out how to be proactive. Because we talk about the care recipient, but we also going to talk about the person in front who's ever coming. Because now we can have better conversations, different age groups, talking about long-term care planning, and trying to really get things together, and not, because people always tell you, they say, I don't want son or daughter that have to care for me. Well, to me, you're going to have to prove that. I mean, what does it look like? Well, you don't look sick, but what have you put in place? Because this is what I'm going to ask. Like, if a caregiver comes to me, I'm going to say, well, how are you going to pay for your care? And that's important because care planning goes along with, retirement planning. If you retired and didn't even do anything about the care part, then you didn't retire right.
You left something on.
Absolutely. Because you're going to do all those other things to mitigate your risk. And risk for what? Losing all your money. You want your money to grow. You want you don't want one hospitalization to do all that. You don't want to give your home away. If I ask you, you're going to tell me no. So it's a lot of things proactively we can do to care plan, and we just have to have those conversations now while we're in our right mind, not when we're not cognitively sound, but when we can able to make the right and the decisions. That's when we got to talk to you.
Let's talk to you.
Yes.
Now, that's some of the events that you have, family caregivers, which was a day of wrestling. Also, the women, that is not only for women, for any person, women who care, anybody who care, boot camp. But you also, congratulations, a published author.
Oh, yes.
Not only in books, but you also have articles. One is called Caregiving and Communication, and the other Transition of Care.
Yes.
Where can we find those?
Well, those were the 2 studies that we completed. And they're in the Journal of Nursing somewhere. But they can always get my book. It's called Caregiving and Understanding. It's on Amazon.
Awesome.
Caregiving and Understanding Respite. Don't forget about the respite part, because that's what the word we need people to know about.
Exactly. Okay, and so Louise, you are an expert.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no doubt about it. Facilitate 150, but there are people out there that recognize some of your work that you've done.
Yes.
And so, Louise Barnes Respite Award, congratulations, 2024 recipient. Talk to us about that.
Well, that was through the Tennessee Respite Coalition.
Oh, wow.
Actually, they started having an award, and I think this Louise Barnes, she started the Respite Coalition. And in fact, they've changed their name to the Tennessee Caregiver Coalition, but the Tennessee Respite Coalition gave me that award because of the work that I've done.
Wow, yeah. You are doing an amazing work, right?
Thank you.
You're doing amazing work.
Thank you.
And we're excited. So your consulting company is called JOW?
Yes, consulting.
JOW Consulting. So not only you consult, you also coach and also a care coordinator.
Yes.
Long-term planning.
Yes.
And you did speak a little bit about that. Somebody's struggling at home because they want to pull all their hair out, they're tired, their bodies are wearing down. What would you give them as a just encouraging word? What would you say to somebody, a caregiver?
Well, for one thing, and I think this is the most important thing. Well, 2 things. First thing is respite means break, and whenever you hear that word, they're talking about you. And so even though people around you might not say, oh, you need respite, you need this, don't worry about that. You take your own break and wait for people to catch up. Sometimes we have to educate people on who we are.
Wow.
Family caregivers is a honorable job. And it comes with fringe benefits. God will help you. And that's all you really need. And so, but for number one, you make sure you get a break. Because if you can't get a break, you can't make it. But if you get a break, you can make it. And I guess the second thing is really find out who you are.
Okay.
There are a whole lot of studies and a whole lot of statistics about what you're doing. If you find out more about who you are, get connected with a support group, start going to events, come to the Day of Respite, which is usually in August now. November is National Family Caregiver Month. See what's going on for you around that. And just become more educated and more savvy about what you're doing so you can feel phenomenal. You can learn as much as you can about the things that you're doing, because without you, the healthcare system really couldn't work and we couldn't do what we're doing.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't have enough manpower to take care of all the patients that's been released from my hospital.
Absolutely.
We already short staff anyway. We don't talk about that. We don't want to talk about that.
Yes, ma'am.
But so we know that, so what's next for Miss Janice Williams?
I got a lot of things that I'm working on. So I would just say stay tuned. Okay. The boot camp is still pretty new because people come, but we need people who are really committed to understanding what long-term care is. I just see so much of things that I don't want to see, and people don't really understand how it really works. So we want people to come to this boot camp for sure.
We want people, and this boot camp is in August, and it's is this the one that's in August?
Well, the day of respite.
Okay, it's always in August.
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, it used to be in November. Okay. But I just see, I'm not going to wait all year for people to get a break. I stopped that, and we can do some other things in November.
Okay, yeah.
And but
outside the box.
Yes.
Thinking outside the box.
Now,
come on.
Because we doing the day of respite because we kind of coming against burnout. Mm-hmm. If our workforce, the ones that we depend on to take care of our loved ones, burns out, what's going to happen? And so we're going to do that in August. Then in, I think October is going to be the next boot camp because we already had 2 for this year so far.
Okay, well, oh wow. So it'll be 4 boot camps you would have done by the end of the year.
Yes.
So pretty much like quarterly?
Yes.
Okay, well that's good.
Yes.
So, Miss Janice, we're out of time, but let me tell you something. Because I see it for my husband. I see the work that he does.
Yes.
And we love on those families.
Yes.
Because a lot of times you might have one person.
Yes.
That may be helping the caregiver out, and then you get over. We just come to take these people on as our own. Yes. A lot of time my husband do because of they need the support. The caregivers need some support.
Yes. They need a break.
They need a break. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if it like things that I see him do.
Yes.
Is go and take out trash.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit of things that he always asks me, can I do something before I leave?
That's big.
Yeah, and that just help him out.
Absolutely.
Help him out. Caregivers, I know, like this is just first hand things that I've seen my husband over 20 years been in nursing assistant and sometimes they need help just getting ready to go to the doctor.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So he is supporting the caregiver. So my husband, I want to shout out my husband.
Yes.
That he's actually helping caregivers. It's such a need.
Yes, because he's formal. He's a formal caregiver.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
And so we need them to advocate for us. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they're our first line of defense. Well, they're one of our first lines of defense. Mm-hmm. I would say the family caregiver is as well.
And that support system.
Yes.
To the caregivers.
Yes. Yes.
Because they can't get enough support.
Yes.
You can't have enough of support.
Ma'am.
So that these the caregivers can get what they need, so that they can to give their loved one what they need.
Yeah, absolutely.
What they need.
Absolutely.
So what you're doing is so needed. It's ministry in the marketplace.
Yes.
Y'all know how I feel about that.
All right now.
There's your ministry in the marketplace.
Yes.
And I thank God for whoever that person was many years ago that told you should go to nursing.
Me too. I'm going to have to find her.
Find that person. Because it only takes one person. You don't need a whole lot of people. Just need one person.
Absolutely.
To help and support you. To just help get you in the right direction and look at you over 30 years later.
Yes.
I know you, knowing her, she probably has a number of people she gonna help, right? Because you organize. It seems like you organize like that. So we just thank you so much again for coming on Live on Purpose with the Ambassador. I love talking to people that's living in their purpose.
Yes.
So you almost got me really excited about that. But you know what? And as I always say, in a world where you can be anything, be yourself. I'm going to see you on the next time on Live on Purpose. You guys, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Blessings.